Welcome to Femme House Radio with your host, LP Giobbi. And this week we have Las Vegas-based producer, artist, writer, DJ, and all-around beautiful soul, OFF IN LALA. She calls her sound cinematic dance music, an emotive collision of dirty South grit, golden era progressive house, and the underground refinement of Ibiza. Once a collegiate athlete, bound for medical school, a summer backpacking trip to Europe sparked an undying dance music dream that was later met with a life-altering battle with leukemia. She transformed this struggle into fuel for creative obsession, using her time in treatment to learn how to produce at Icon Collective. Off in Lala is an instinctive, magnetic performer that draws you out of your head and into your body, building toward peak moments of collective euphoria. Her art is a testament to music's capacity to heal, ensuring the dance floor remains a transformative space to lose track of time and find something real. I have personally gotten to spend a few very special evenings with OFF IN LALA and can attest to the fact that even just her presence as a human is a transformative experience for those lucky enough to be around her. Last but very not least, her track Ritual on the Femme House and Insomniac compilation that dropped last week on International Women's Day. We're so excited to have our track on that. I got to A&R the compilation alongside Insomniac, and it is absolutely incredible, and it's one of my favorite tracks in the comp. So thank you so much for being here. Welcome to Femme House Radio. Tell us how your artist name came to be.
Thank you so much for having me. My artist name came from a few different facets in my life, but it started when I was a little girl. I was, kind of a weirdo. I was a theater kid, band kid, did show choir. I was often in my basement playing with like old piano synths, playing dress up. I had a drum set down there, and it was just like my creative cave in my haven. And I spent more time in my imagination as a child than I did, I think, really in reality. And it was my safe place. And so it was like often people would say like I'm off in La La Land, And I didn't know how to feel about that when I was little, but then coming into this later part of my life, I've reclaimed that as the place where I feel safe to be creative, where I invite other people in to be creative and expressed and alive. And it's just like this night blooming universe that is off in Lala.
What's so cool about that too is that it makes sense you make music for people to move to and dance to, because I think a lot of times people come to shows to um lose themselves and find themselves off in Lala.
Yeah.
We need a break. We need a break from a lot of times what's happening in the world or the grind of life. And I
Yeah.
think it's like the perfect name.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so I know that you have worked to release the need to prove and convince people that you are a
Mm.
producer. Tell me about that journey.
Yeah, so this is one of my biggest struggles I think that I've dealt with in my journey as an artist. I went to Icon Collective and I learned how to produce music there. And I was the only girl in my whole class and one of two women in the entire program that I was there. And I remember like playing people my song saying, I produced this. And they're like, or like, check out my song that I made. And they're like, who produced it? And I'm like, we're in the same school to learn how to produce music at the same time. And I just felt this need that to prove that I produce music over and over and over to the point where I really was inhibiting myself from creating the best art possible. Like, truly. I was just out to prove, and I found myself stuck not being able to finish songs, not being able to finish writing lyrics. Like, I think it's really better together, and
Mm,
yeah,
I
yeah,
love that. Also that, oh my gosh, I think that like learning the language of the studio is the most
yeah,
important thing, period. After that, like you think of like Rick Rubin, he's one of the most famous producers in the world, doesn't touch a computer.
yeah,
Like if you can speak to your collaborators on like, okay, really, really explain like, it'd be cool to have a tremolo on this and like filter the low
right,
on this. And like, if you had that knowledge and so who wins? The person who clicks the most, the computer? Like, no,
right,
that used to be the engineer's job. So producing, like I try to like when I'm working with songwriters and they are like, hey, it'd be cool to have a clap here. It'd be cool. I always give them production credit because
yes,
that is a producer. And
mhm,
I think that this 3 like, there's only 3% of producers are women, like, that stat is, also attributed to the fact that we aren't getting credit when we are producing, actually, because,
Mm.
producing is not just the person who clicks on the, you know, clicks the computer,
Yeah, it's writing
and,
melodies, vocals, all of that.
completely.
Yeah.
And the
Mhm.
fact that you still, like, went and, like, "I'm gonna learn, like, I'm gonna understand this and, like, the world of this and the language of this,"
Yeah.
so impressive to me and so badass, and then also knowing, like, where is your time best spent is, like,
Yeah,
very important.
exactly. Yeah, for me, like, I love creating new songs and new ideas, and then the idea like, I just could live in that world, like, that's my imagination dripping in every moment. It's like flow state for me, but do I wanna spend 2 hours fine-tuning my snare? No,
No,
I'm
and
good.
you know what? And there are so many producers that could never, come up with these ideas that, like, those are fun. So you should
Right,
be doing that as you're an antenna to the world, and the person, the engineer type brain should be,
right.
h like, honing in on a snare for 2 hours.
Yeah, exactly. It's
I I
all
I comple
necessary, but
I
I don't need to be it
agree.
all.
I completely agree with you on that, and I love
Yeah.
that this is being talked about, and thank you. Um, Switching gears here, overcame leukemia at a
Mhm.
very pivotal time in your life. I wanna
Mhm.
talk about how you were able to still find drive and persistence and desire and learning how to make music during a time that you were also fighting for your life.
Yeah, I look back on that time in my life and I have immense gratitude for it. I think for me, going through something like that has given me a deeper perspective and more appreciation for actual hardship in the world, and more understanding. And, like, I had chemo for 3 years. So the first year, I basically was living in the hospital, and I just remember I had a picture of LA as a background on my laptop, and I was like, "If I make it out of this year, if I'm alive at the end of this year, I'm going to LA. I'm gonna learn how to make music. Like, I'm gonna do this." So I just looked at it every single day, and it was, like, my guiding light. I played one show at the House of Blues, which is hilarious. It was for Barstool Blackout Tour. I was, like, opening up for them, which is
Yes.
so funny, but I was bald. I was, like, 100 pounds, and I went out and I played the show sold out at the House of Blues, and that was the 1 hour of my life I forgot I was sick, and I was like, "Okay, this is it for me. This is my purpose. It's healing. Like, I can feel it for myself. It's healing. It matters. This is my purpose, my path." And then after the first year, I got the clear. I moved to LA, didn't know anyone, had 2 more years of treatment, and then I was in Icon Collective, like, growing out a mohawk.
That is so because I feel like there I mean, this is, really something I don't have any right to speak on, but my knowing, like, when I've been through, bouts of, really really struggles with my health, I
Yeah.
I guess I could just, like, lose a lot of motivation, you know, and I just think
Yeah.
it's cool that you kept that at the forefront with it visually, like, that I mean, I think that's,
Yeah.
testament to your spirit and your character and why I know
Thank
that you're
you.
gonna slay this music game however you wanna do it. Um, okay, so I'm really excited to talk to you about this. You were both raised by deadheads, your dad being a deadhead.
Yes.
How did that shape your love for music? I mean, they're very different genres, right? I
Yeah.
see a lot of similarities, but I'm curious how it shaped your love.
Yeah, my dad, I mean, some of my earliest memories of him is like, I don't think my dad would call himself musically inclined. Like he doesn't play any instruments, doesn't sing, but he is a deep lover and appreciator of music.
Oh my god, this is
And
literally how whenever I get asked this question, this is exactly how I start. This
yeah, and you know, I think it also like helped my parents really like how much they love music. They really were shepherds of my creativity. They allowed me to play with all the instruments and learn and grow, and they didn't ever try to make me good at anything, they just gave me the tools to play. But I have a specific memory of watching my dad just laying on the couch. He had, like, a old CD player, a huge system, and he was just running his headphones from the system to the couch, and he just, like, had the dead playing with his headphones on, laying back, eyes closed, and he was just so immersed in it, and I'm like, wow, a deep connection to music even for someone who, quote unquote, "isn't musical." And I grew up with that alongside my mom loving, like, pop, Christina, Red Hot Chili Peppers, vocals, so, like, I had the blend of it all, you know?
Wow, that is so cool. Oh, man,
Yeah.
I find about what I find in Deadheads is that all the every Deadhead I know actually doesn't play music also, um,
Yeah.
and but the way that they appreciate music is like nothing I've ever seen. Also, the way that they
Mhm.
are okay with, um, their favorite artist failing. Like, some shows were trash.
Yes.
Some shows were bad, but
Yes.
that is because they were out there trying and, like, and I think that similar to me, like, they always encouraged me to play music if I wanted to. They didn't like,
Mhm.
you never had to be good. You never had to, like, just do it if you love it because, like, that's what
Yeah.
ethos at the Dead, like, they just loved it and they just, were willing to try new things and to kind of be bad and sometimes be good. And, like, it wasn't really about
Jam and
just about
play.
it was just about playing.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I feel so lucky to come from people who, that's the thing that they like and care about in music.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I went to the Dead at the Sphere with my dad, and I've, like, never seen him more tapped into his musical spirituality than being at that show with him, and I was like, "Wow, this really is such a connective point for us." It was pretty magical.
Oh, that is so cool. Okay, so I took my parents to Sphere, and,
Yeah.
they played the night that we were there, my mom's song is "Eyes of the World," and, like,
Mhm.
a little, like, you know, twinkle of a note came in. Never would have, like, 5 minutes before the actual song came in, she goes, "No, no, no," and I'm like, "How is she know?" And then finally, like, when the song came in, she collapsed to the floor sobbing, and my dad was, like, holding her because, like, she's like, "I can't believe I get to hear this song here, like, I
Oh
can't
my
believe I get to be
god.
here. I'm still alive to be in this moment." It
Mm.
was, like, so and then during Drums in Space, like, my dad
Mhm.
was rumbling, and he closed his eyes, and I just the whole time I was just watching him have the experience, and
Mhm.
it's like that'll be a memory that I play forever, after they're gone.
Mhm.
So it was
Mhm.
very cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
I'm like
my god,
tearing.
yeah, I'm gonna cry. I'm like, "Are you okay?" Okay, well, anyways, I'm a huge fan. You've already done so much, and I do think that this is just the beginning, which is even more exciting and crazy considering what you've already done. Your music is incredible, and we're so excited to support it. Femme and Insomniac on the compilation. Go listen to it. Ritual. It's amazing, and I'm excited to watch your journey and to cheer you on.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. I'm so excited. So excited to be part of the compilation.